Rabies is a deadly infectious viral disease that affects the central nervous system, brain and spinal cord, and is usually transmitted by a bite from a wild infected animal as well as a domestic infected animal, such as a dog, bat, raccoon, skunk, or fox. If a bite from a rabid animal goes untreated and rabies develops, it is almost always fatal. Types of rabies. As the virus continues to attack the central nervous system, there are two different types of the disease that can develop. Furious rabies. 70% of human cases are of this type of rabies, which causes hyperactive, excited, erratic behavior, a strong fear of water, and sometimes a strong fear of flying. This will eventually result in death by cardiorespiratory arrest. Paralytic rabies. This form of rabies affects 30% human cases and is a little less exciting and takes longer to set in, but the effects are just as severe. With it, your muscles gradually paralyze, beginning at the source of the infection and spreading outwards. Infected people slowly become paralyzed, will eventually slip into a coma, and die. Causes of rabies. Rabies is an infection caused by a virus of the genus Lyssavirus. The bite of a rabid animal. An animal infected with rabies virus is by far the most common cause of rabies. The virus is carried in the saliva of the rabid animal and is able to enter the body through an opening in the skin, such as a bite wound or scratch of an animal, or with a mucous membrane. There have also been reports of rabies being transmitted by infected saliva that has entered the air, usually in bat caves. These cases are very rare. Symptoms of rabies. After a symptom-free incubation period, which in humans typically lasts from a few days to more than a year after the bite occurs. Symptoms that an invasion has occurred is a tingling or twitching sensation around the area of the animal bite. It is often accompanied by a fever, headache, muscle aches, loss of appetite, nausea, and fatigue. As the infection advances, person infected with rabies may develop any of these symptoms: irritability, excessive movements or agitation, confusion, hallucinations, aggressiveness, bizarre or abnormal thoughts, muscle spasms, abnormal postures, seizures, convulsions, weakness or paralysis when a person cannot move. Some part of the body, extreme sensitivity to bright lights, sounds, or touch, increased production of saliva or tears, difficulty speaking. As the virus advances further with time, it spreads to other parts of the nervous system. These symptoms may develop: double vision, problems moving, facial muscles, abnormal movements of the diaphragm and muscles that control breathing, difficulty swallowing, and increased production of saliva, causing the foaming at the mouth, usually associated with a rabies infection. Prevention of rabies. You can reduce the chances that your family is exposed to rabies. Immunization before exposure has been used in both humans and animals. Vaccinate pets, dogs, cats, and ferrets. Report to an animal control officer any stray animals to your local health authorities or animal control officer. Teach kids that they should never touch or feed stray cats or dogs wandering in the neighborhood. Treatment of rabies. Thoroughly washing the wound as soon as possible with soap and water for approximately 5 minutes is effective in reducing the number of viral particles. Immediately seek a doctor who will use povidone iodine or alcohol to further clean the wound to reduce the virus further, and will check that your tetanus immunizations are current. Treatment after exposure can prevent the disease, generally within 10 days of infection. Treatment with shots of human rabies immunoglobulin HRIG to the wound site and vaccine shots in the arm are done. This decision is usually based on the circumstances of the bite, provoked or unprovoked, the type of animal species, wild or domestic, the animal's health history, vaccinated or not. If you liked the video, please subscribe, like, comment or share.